Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel of Bethel Evangelical Free Church Hanley. I'm Pastor Gervais Charnley. This is probably the final video in at least this year's series of Cumbrian churches. This is the Church of St Mary at Thrimby. It's actually in Little Strickland because Thrimby Church was knocked down a long time ago, well in the early 19th century, it was knocked down, and a new church was built here. And this is building dates from 1813, and it's a very good example of the period. A building that's very simple, no east window, flat ceiling, pointy windows, wide tracery, but it's a very simple structure. It's what they call pre-ecclesiological, and therefore it's not trying to be a medieval church, it's trying to be a suitable building. I mean, the structure itself could almost be a Methodist chapel. It's only the furnishings that show that it's not. So we'll have a look around the inside and see the special features of this little and rather special building. St Mary's, as I said, is built 1813, and as you can see there's a basic, completely blank east wall. There's a west gallery, again quite common. The seating is basically original. The pulpit looks original, they've probably been lowered. The font is original with a later cover. So we proceed up, we see we've got an eagle lectern of wood and it looks like a carpet of sort of Byzantine style Virgin and Child. There's the pulpit, which even has a little cupboard underneath it, which we won't look inside. And a very simple table, east end. No chancel. Again, it's that period where Anglican churches are still Reformed churches, and so we don't need a chancel. We don't do chancels here. And here they were quite quite low church. So there's the interior, and you can see it could almost be a Methodist chapel. It's only the position of the pulpit and the railed communion table at the east end. A Methodist chapel would have had the pulpit behind the table, and there you can see the pulpit obviously has been altered. Modern electric organ. Until last year this was a parish church. It's now effectively a chapel of ease in the parish of Moorland. Moorland being a big, important church, which maybe at some future date I shall visit, but not this year. Not with a video camera this year, anyway. Up the gallery stairs. It's always interesting to go up the gallery stairs, just because gallery stairs. And we see the gallery. It's not very big. It's really a musician's gallery, and you have your little band up here, or your harmonium, and then down into the body of the nave, into the body of the church rather, because if there isn't a separate nave or chancel, there's the bell chain, which is just a ding-dong bell. Down again, into the church. So, being very careful, of course. You can see they've taken off the umbrella holders. Bays on the inside of the doors, insulation. And there's a porch. And presumably the vestry to one side. So very, very simple building. And so here we are outside at Thrimby, and you can see again the simplicity of the building. It's rendered, pointy windows, pre-ecclesiological Gothic, Georgian Gothic really. Beautiful building. So we'll have a look around the outside and just comment on some of the features. There's not a lot of features, it's a very simple building. So first of all, the porch is a later addition. You can see the windows are different, and the stone that the windows are made out of is different. We have a nice gate with a lantern over it, and here the south side, at least ecclesiastically south, there are these big windows, and as we go round, and it looks like a hall over the road. Village green, it's very typical Cumbrian village really here at I say Little Strickland. It's interesting, you can see there used to be a door in the West End and there isn't anymore, and there's also no bell anymore. So there was one. There's the old school next door, the old schoolhouse, which again, the provision that you have with buildings like this is we are providing not just a place of worship, we provide education as well. And here's it could be a Methodist chapel, couldn't it? Or it could be a Scots kirk. There is a period when Anglican churches are very simple like this. So that is the north side, and it's just the same as the south side, only nothing. There's a graveyard, of course, surrounding the church, and nice setting. We're not very far from the M6, so there's this constant roar of traffic, which, that's life. That's life. That's what all the people say. And there's the gate again, back. You can see the bell now is hung outside there. So there we are, that is Thrimby. And so Thrimby is a lovely little building, typical of this first couple of decades of the 19th century, particularly these country churches. You just put up something very simple that's 4 walls and a roof. But it's a beautiful little place, it's a beautiful place of worship. It's still used, although not as much as it used to be, and not as much at the centre of the community as it once was. Well, thank you for watching, and may God bless you and keep you until next time.